Hello friends, the Christmas dress is back. So this fabric right here, lovely, black with little tan checks with red, very Christmassy in my opinion. I got a bolt, or it was on a bolt. It was not a full bolt, but it was on a bolt of fabric at Goodwill for $1. And as you saw on my bingo sheet, it was a goal of mine for this year to bring back the Christmas dress project. And I was saving this for a Christmas dress. Now another thing that you have absolutely no way of knowing is that I have been mildly, it has been on my mind, this one unique vintage dress. I liked the vibes, I liked the style lines. I did not like that it was polyester. I want to make something very similar to that dress, but with the fabric from my stash. So we have a dress idea, we have a fabric, but we do not have an exact pattern that matches the pattern in the dress. But you know what pattern we do have, we do like, and we have been meaning to remake? The Walkaway dress. This pattern was gifted to me for free by Stephanie Canada for the Walkaway dress challenge that was a few years back. I think I have a playlist, I have my own video, blah, blah, blah. It took me 6 hours last time. This time, I'm trying to see if I can narrow that down any. Hello and welcome back to the Walkaway Dress Challenge Christmas Extra Challenging Edition. Why is it extra challenging? Because I decided that I'm going to use my Christmas fabric, which is black, with, you know, red and tan stripes to make plaid checks, but you know, I can't see my pen marks. Also part of the extra challenge, I feel terrible. Hi, Erwin. Erwin, are you being challenging too? Erwin's just gonna need a little bit of a cuddle before he decides that he hates this. So the first part of the directions is to sew the back darts and then get that attached to the back skirt, which 100% makes sense. I am one of the people that just like, I like sewing all my darts in one go, but you know, I can deviate from that. And I don't need to finish that seam because it is the salvage edge. And it does look like I was a little off in matching up those seams, but you know what? It's fine. After that, it looks like I'm supposed to cut a little ease line and then sew the bust dart and then sew the side and front darts. Now in this round, I did not actually film myself ironing and cutting out the pattern pieces. That is a valid time of the making process, and I think last time that alone took me a solid hour. It is also worth noting that the back piece has a half circle skirt on it, and generally you would want to hang anything that is cut on the bias. A half circle skirt is going to have parts of it that are cut on the bias. You would generally want to let that hang to see how just gravity pulls it down in order to get an actually even hem instead of, because it generally stretches a little bit more on that bias grain. Hopefully, because this seems to be a pretty tightly woven cotton, so hopefully we're not actually going to have any of that really bad warping on the bias, but it's always a possibility. And if you were to make this with like a looser or flowier fabric, that is a definite risk that I would not suggest undertaking the Walkaway Dress Challenge as a timed challenge. Just don't even risk it, man. Erwin, I love you. I am shocked that you want to cuddle this much. You did not want me to actually pick you up, and now you are so squished. You are so squished and cuddly. It is about 5:30, so it has been about an hour of just pinning and sewing and ironing and all that to get to the point where I have the front and the back attached, and I have little loops cut out for the button loops. I just prefer to use like some of my scrap fabric, and I do have my loops a little long. I am under the impression that I have gained a lot of weight since making this pattern last, but I don't necessarily think that that's true. but I still cannot get myself to stop thinking like I am ginormous, too big to fit in this pattern. I know it's not true factually, it's just where my brain is going, and I cannot stop that. Right now is the step where I am supposed to straight stitch on this bias tape. It is 1/2 inch double fold bias tape. The pattern calls for 1/4 inch. Honestly, I like the ease and this look of the 1/2 inch better. So that's what we went with. Everyone here agrees with me. I'm saying that right now. Everyone here agrees with me that it would look much better if I stitched down one side of the double fold bias tape and then hand stitched it in place on the inside. It would not be easier. I have already decided that we're gonna do things the easier way instead of the prettier way. I just gotta psych myself up for it. I did backstitch to lock it in place, and I am going to sew at the 3/8 inch line. As far as pattern complexity goes, I would say this is relatively simple. One thing that I personally had to just look out for, I guess, one of the sets of darts on the front, it starts at a point and ends at a point, and I tend to do that thing where you run your thread out a little bit past the point. One of the points might have the top one be just a little bit puckery, but I think that that is the side dart, which is tucked under the overskirt. It's bespoke, it's designer, it's handcrafted, and if anybody is paying that much attention to your darts, that they notice that the teeny tiny tip of it that is under your skirt is just a little bit puckery. Why are you letting them under the skirt to begin with? If they're that judgmental, that seems like a simple solution for a simple problem. Okay, so it is approximately 7:15. I've been working at this for 3 hours, 15 minutes. I don't think that this is bad. I feel like these little loops I should have done thinner, and seeing it on me, I want it so that I have 2 buttons on this side and this loop on this side, so it does like a little crisscross thing. I'm not hating this, but am I liking that idea enough to seam rip and transfer this button to that side? I don't know. I mean, I could have the patch pockets on the outside, but I think that I want to have them hidden. But I could have, yeah, I'm gonna have them hidden. I want the patch pockets hidden on the front, actually. Yeah, I'm committing to that one. But I am going to pause this for tonight. Tomorrow I will come back with the patch pockets, the neckline, and the hemming. Yeah, so far pretty satisfied. I want to take a nap. So I did make it to the craft store this morning to get another package of bias tape for the neck binding, but I did not film the last hour and a half of me actually putting the bias tape on, and I straight stitched the hem and applied these pockets. I did that while the kiddo was over, needing us to do things for them and give them things, so that was not actually filmed, but that brings our total sewing time, that is not the initial ironing out and pattern PC BS, that brings that up to 4.5 hours. So basically, if you pre-cut your fabric, then you can definitely start up the sewing machine at breakfast, walk away for lunch. You can definitely do that, but that is not what I did. Oh, also a little modification to the pattern. I did the straight stitch for the hem for the rounded back piece instead of the blind hem. I just did the straight stitch with some lace, hem lace, and that is all nice and hidden and will not be seen, or should not be seen, but I of course ran out and had to use white on this side. This is why I have stash. Just wanted to show you how to put on the walkaway dress. You identify, this is your back, this is your front. The front is straighter and has 2 darts on it. The back has this nice full skirt. So just pop it over the head like a big smock. Take this elastic is going to have my little hook on it, and on the other side I find the little eye that it hooks into, hook it together, and That will allow me to feel where the center is, where it's naturally pulling. So that is where it needs to be on my waist. Just adjust the shoulders so that it sits there. Then take the back. And if you follow the directions, you're going to have one button side and one loopy side. And you just loop the buttons through the loops. That will scrunch up your bottom fabric just a little. You just tug that into place to make it neat. That smooths out the front. And that's your walkaway dress. Ooh, I think this looks really nice and wintry with the turtleneck. What do you think? Now, another thing that I would like to address is that on my original walkaway dress challenge video, a lot of people did comment on it. This style of dress, it would look so good with a crinoline under it because, paraphrasing, they all always wore crinolines back then, and this type of dress does not actually accommodate a crinoline. And I just want to show you why. When you are seeing this big half circle skirt and questioning how does that not accommodate a crinoline, that's because of this front skirt. If I floof that out of the way, you see this is basically a pencil skirt right here. I'm gonna do a side profile so you can see my butt's out. It's just a wrap dress that way, but it's a pencil skirt. If I were to put a crinoline under here, the front would flatten it out and it would just puff at the butt, and it would not actually be this nice voluminous skirt that the overskirt makes it seem like it is, because this is not actually half circle, half circle. This is pencil skirt and half circle. I just wanted to address that because I got so many comments in my last video saying I should have worn a crinoline under this. No, it just simply does not accommodate for a crinoline. This is like the 50s version of throwing on jeggings to go to the grocery store. It is a very casual, you don't need to fuss up that much dress. Overall, I am pretty satisfied with this project. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns down below. New videos should be up, I don't know, maybe Tuesdays, maybe Fridays, we'll see. But be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you know when I actually do post. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bam, pockets. I just started the soup and my house already smells like minestrone. I don't have a slip on, this is itchy.